Hi, I'm John Cilio, and this is Ask Cilio, where you can ask me anything about privacy, identity, or reputation protection. The question that we have today is from a small business owner who wants to know, why would I spend more money buying high security checks? High security checks, what are they? Well, they're checks that change color, that indicate if they have been tampered with. So here's what happens. A thief comes along, they find a check of yours, they get it out of the mail, or they find it sitting on a desk, and they wash it. They chemically wash it. They take the to field off, they take the amount off, and suddenly they can fill it out to themselves and have a check. If you've got high security checks, there are several problems with that. It discolors, it takes off the, you can see here the hologram. The hologram starts to disappear. You also have to use a high security pen so that the ink doesn't wash off. So what we're going to do here right now is we're going to wash a couple of checks and show you the difference between high security and no security and why it matters to you. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to fill out the pay to the order of the field. On the non-security check, we're going to write non-security pen, and we're going to sign it with a security pen. And on the security check, again, we're going to sign it with a security pen that shouldn't bleed, and we're going to fill in the amount with a non-security pen. Our next step is we take some undisclosed chemicals, but chemicals you can buy at any hardware store. We just don't want to reveal what they are. And if you watch our friends over at Spangler Science, Steve Spangler, he says you always have to wear your goggles when you're dealing with these chemicals. So we've got our goggles. Not exactly safety goggles. And we're going to put our two solutions, they're two different solutions, but they're basically the same, in our pans. You have to be really careful doing this. If you're going to do it, don't do it at your own home because it ruins the carpet. We're then going to wash the checks, which is nothing more than placing the checks in the solution. Now, you don't want to touch the solution unless you've got gloves like I've got. And we're simply going to start washing those checks. Sorry, these are porous. They're leaking. So now the bank knows that it's an altered check because there's no hologram. You can see the chemical taking off even our permanent ink here, which doesn't matter much. We could clean it out. But look at that. On both checks, the non-security pen, essentially, we have blanked out the pay to field. That means that I can put my name in there, your name in there, any name that I want. The other thing that you'll start to notice is the fibers of the check start to come out. You can see fibers. That's another indication to the bank that it is a check that has been chemically altered. Here we are in the non-security check, and once again, there's nothing to show us that it's been chemically altered here. There's no hologram, there's no indication in fibers. It's simply, I can change this pay to field. Look at that, it's almost completely gone. It's been no longer than 2 minutes. The security pen, totally clearly defined still. The non-security, I could finish washing that off and we'd have a brand new check that we can make out. So what they'll do is they'll simply take your signature and they'll trace over it with a security pin so that that doesn't wash off. Now it's a legitimate check because it's got your actual signature on it. It's very hard to argue that you didn't write that check. And yet they can make out the amount and they can make out the pay to field to anybody that they like. This is our lovely assistant, Sue. You have to dry the checks out before you can use them. But we're not teaching you how to do this. We're teaching you how to foil it, which is the right ink and the right checks. So the point is to answer the question, why do you want to spend the extra few dollars on security checks? Because you're saving whatever's in your bank account. If you've got $10,000 in the bank account, I can wash it and I can Wash your non-security check or non-security pen, and I can cash out that account. You're telling me that you want to save $50 or $100 over 1,000 checks to have me be able to drain that account. It's a no-brainer. If you want to see the security checks that we recommend, click on the link that's right here below, and you can see the checks that we think are the best. And we'll do the same for the pens at some point in the future. Again, I'm John Cilio. This is Ask Cilio, where you can ask us anything about privacy, identity, and reputation protection. If you have comments below, if you want to take a guess at what chemicals we've used, comment down in the section, and we appreciate it. Thanks.